For the girls, what is the average body count of a woman fresh out of high school? And should a woman's body count matter to a man? We're going to start with my baby girl right here. A little freaky tang. What's the average body count, do you think, for a woman fresh out of high school?
Maybe 2.
Out of high school.
Okay,
No.
there'll be some girls though. I know.
Did you say 2 meaning like 1, 2?
Yeah.
Or do you mean like 200? Like what are you talking about?
Like 2. Okay, but for being real though, I was kind of like thinking about myself. But if I was like thinking about like actually actively thinking about, I'd maybe say maybe 5. Is that too low again?
Okay, we're gonna okay.
Is this demonology?
We're gonna go to the second part of the question, which was what was the second part of the question? Should a woman's body count matter to a man?
To a point. There's a point where it's too much.
At what point is that?
I mean, also age matters, but I guess like a 23-year-old woman, maybe 20's a little up there. Why are you laughing?
Holy shit! Holy shit! So you said at 20, that's when he should start getting concerned?
Yeah.
Holy moly, ravioli.
No,
okay.
20, that's too much. That's what I mean.
Hear you.
That's
I hear
too
you.
much.
She said at 20, that's when you start getting worried. Okay. Come out of high school, how many bodies do you think average woman has?
Well, they shouldn't have none, but I would say, I ain't gonna lie, they do be having a lot.
What you think it is?
I ain't gonna lie, like, it be up there.
She's like, it's up there and it's stuck there.
It's like probably like 50.
Damn, God damn.
I'm so for
no, I believe you. The times is getting crazy. It's getting
like
crazy.
50.
Like 50. And she said 2. That was amazing. It's a big gap. Okay, so and I know high school was way back. I know that it was just coming out with color TV when you was getting out of high school.
We had color TV, thank you.
Oh Lord. So anyways, color TV just got invented, but nowadays when women are coming out of high school, how many bodies do you think they got?
A girl coming out of high school should be a virgin.
I didn't say what they should be, right?
You're saying the average girl?
A lot of things should happen, right?
I mean, I don't know too many high school girls, but the ones I know, they are still virgins. I'm being 100. The high school girls I know are my cousins. And you're laughing, but
like in general,
they're raised. In general, I don't know. Yeah. I don't keep up with nobody
girl.
else.
That's why I said 2, because like I don't know many like girls that like.
No, I be seeing it everywhere. I don't even.
Shorty said,
go ahead, what they doing?
Shorty said the girls I know coming out of high school are virgins. They're my cousins, so they're virgins.
I know how they're raised, so yeah. Go ahead.
Number one, shout out to women because you guys always support each other through all things. That's number one. I mean, the truth doesn't matter, right? And you ever notice that women lie to each other? Here's one thing that I could never figure out when I was a young bull, like meaning from like age, say 13 to 26, dealing with women. And every girl I dated, right, she always had a hoe friend. You know, she's like, oh yeah, my friend so-and-so, she like screwed 3 guys, or like, you know, like Nicole, she got her train ran on her, or like so-and-so, she's only 16, but she's dating a guy that's 45 and he buys her stuff. Like, and like every girl, you know, she's like, oh yeah, you know, Sarah went to a party and she was making out with Jen, and then they were like sleeping with like the football team, and guy put a thumb in her butt, you know. And I was just like, I was tripped out. I was like, well, why do you have friends like that? I just kept asking, and I was perplexed. Like, why do you hang out with people like that? How do you have friends like that? And every single girl I ever dealt with had a whole friend. And I kept trying to figure out, like, why would you hang out with a girl like that? And then what I realized is that I was like, oh, like, you're not telling me about what you do. You just tell me about what she do. So that's one factor. Mm-hmm. And then what I realized is that I'm dating the hoe friend, meaning that she telling me about her homegirls are a hoe, The homie dating her homegirl, and his girl telling him about her whole friend.
Mm.
You see, they all got a hoe friend, but they never the hoe. It's always my friend is the hoe. And women are very crafty. They're not into the truth. They're not into reality, right? That's why you got the makeup and all the things to cover over, because the truth is not something, it's too ugly. They don't like the truth. So they're always concealing. They conceal even in front of one another. You guys are such great liars. You even trick each other. I remember one time I had a panel just like this. We had 8 girls on it. There was one girl in particular. She was mixed, half white, half Asian. She came on, nice little glasses, pencil skirt. She was all soft spoken. And then once the podcast ended, because it's in Vegas, they're all like, oh, well, what are we getting into tonight? Because you can get into something in Vegas any night. We go out to eat, and the girl that was with us, or the white and Asian girl, couldn't join us. And they're like, oh, she's so nice. She's so smart. She's so soft spoken. Like, what does she do? But she's a stripper.
Oh.
They all start laughing. Like, no, what does she really do? I was like, she's really a stripper. That's her job. She's a stripper. They're like, no, I thought she was like a college professor or something. I thought she was like an educated girl. I was like, she's a stripper. Which is to say that the act is so strong, it even fools, you guys get fooled by each other. So like your cousins may have told you they're a virgin, may even seem like they would be a virgin, but 9 out of 9, they probably not. And no disrespect to them. I'm not saying that they're not good people. They're probably perfectly fine women, but in 2024, if you want to find a virgin, if you really want to find a virgin, do you know you need to go?
Where?
Elementary school. You got to go to elementary school, God damn it. I'm talking about the 6th grade and below, because it's getting ugly out here. Hit me. Gio writes, Saint, the ism is ripe tonight. Gotta support Peace of Saints in a real way. Shout out to the real ones. Shout out to Ghetto Guide. Writes, Peace of Saints, 21-year-old buying my first car. Wow, niggas ain't hustling like they used to.
Oh.
Niggas ain't hustling like they used to.
When did you get your first car?
16. I was a hustling ass nigga then. You heard me? Like, I'm one of the greatest hustlers ever to live, ever to walk the earth. I didn't hustle so many things. I hustle so hard, people don't even really believe it. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't live like the life of 10 niggas, 10 men.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm a hustling nigga. For real though. Anyways, he writes, it's between the AMG C43 and the C63. I don't know what either of those are. I think AMG is a Mercedes, right? Not a Mercedes.
Yeah, it's a
That's
Mercedes.
Yeah. I couldn't even call it, player. He writes, I plan on keeping it for 4 to 6 years. Any advice? I don't know the
research.
Yeah, I don't know the difference between those two cars, but if you're 21 and it's your first car, I always say ease into things, whatever it is. I say ease in. My first car was a piece of crap Toyota. You heard me? It was brown, but I paid cash for it. I paid for it myself. It had some beat in it. You heard me? Because I was in, I was in LA. You can't just not have no beat in your shit. So like I had some beat in it. And I was riding, man. So it's your first car. I say ease in.
Yeah, ease into it. It's an investment. Don't do it to be flashy because you want girl attention. Your car is a tool. Get something you can buy cash. Don't put yourself in debt because you want a Mercedes to post on Instagram. Right.
And the truth is, like, you really are not going to get more women because you have a nice car. And a lot of people who have never had that, they think that that's the case. You're not going to get more women. You're going to get more gold diggers. You hear me? And I say that, and you guys already know. Rolls Royce, i8, Maybach, the whole 9, Lexus, the whole 9, all of it. You don't get more women. You get more gold diggers. Like a woman might acknowledge your car. She might look at it, but she doesn't want you because of your car. There was a Pop the Balloon episode recently. There's some like cornball dude, and he's out here be looking different, but he was a grown man with a big pot belly. I be hating them pot belly niggas.
Yeah, no,
he was buff,
yourself.
but he had a pot belly though. The big buff pot belly nigga.
Was he light skin with all the chains?
With all the tattoos, with all them damn chains. You remember that nigga? You saw that,
yeah.
right? Nigga had on 40 chains with a grill, bunch of tattoos, pot belly nigga with some tight ass pants and some like
and a real
fluffy
tight shirt.
Yeah, that shirt you see his heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like some fluffy shoes, and the nigga walk up to a little African bro and he's like, "You ever been in a private jet?" And she was like, "No." And he was like, "You want to be in a private jet? You want to go in a private jet?" And she was like, "No." Which is, now mind you, most people don't know what it costs to ride a private jet. I do. It's extremely expensive. Extremely. In fact, I'm training to be a pilot right now, not to
That's
get paid,
awesome.
just for fun. You heard me?
Yeah.
So I drive my own shit.
I'm gonna keep in contact with you.
Oh, see, there you go. There you go. There you go. Now she keeping in contact.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. There it is.
It's a pilot.
But the point is, he looked Shorty dead in her face, like, yeah, you want to go on a private jet? And she was like, nope. Which should let you boys know that you're leading with your wallet, you're gonna take a L. And most of the girls are gonna be like, nah, I'm good. And the ones that say, oh yeah, for sure, yeah, let's go on the private jet. Yeah, let's ride good cars. Yeah, buy me a car. I'm with you. I'm your woman. You're renting. That's not your woman. That's a gold digger. A lot of chicks, especially the ones that lead saying, I need a provider. Need. That's the important part. The need. I always tell you guys, I'm not interested in those who have a need or a request. I'm interested in those who have an offer. Somebody come deal with me. I want to deal with bosses. You heard me? So if it's a man, I want him a man on my level. If it's a female, you heard me? I want to deal with a female that show up with some income. She show up with something to contribute. Now, here's the thing. I will take care of us, but I appreciate that you showed up with something instead of showing up like a broke, homeless, needy broad. You see what I'm saying? So yes, I will provide. You don't have to work, but you can't show up with nothing in total need. And that's how these broads be showing up, especially the black ones, they show up in total need. Hoes showing up in abject poverty. Here's the crazy thing. They look at you like you's a fool if you ain't got all your ducks in a row. Bitch show up, ain't nothing right. She ain't been to the dentist in 4 years. Her coochie don't smell good. Her wig ain't right. She ain't got $1 to her name, but got a dog living with her in a small apartment that she shared with her homegirl. Ain't nothing right in her life, but she needs you to have your shit together. How crazy is that? How your shit got to be together, but everything with her is all bad. She ain't even got mental health. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
You notice that chicks be wanting a hell of a lot of things, but they ain't got nothing to offer.
Yeah.
Except some good cat sometimes, and sometimes the cat be alright. It be alright. You feel me? It be alright. And the thing is, like, good cat don't even got value like that.
No, it's just some pleasure for the time being.
That I could easily switch out though. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, why you didn't throw that to me? You heard me? Like I told you, like, you know, you should have threw that to me. You trying not to throw that to me when you really should just throw that to me. We get that out the way.
No.
You're playing games. You're playing games. You're playing games. The point is this though. It's like, nah, for real. You think I'm bullshitting? I just wanted you to offer it to me. I ain't even gonna take it, but you should have offered it to me. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the crazy part. She ain't even offering it. Now, you know what get me mad though? It's like, why you wouldn't just offer that to me? You acting like it's brand new, unwrapped type shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Your family celebrate Christmas before?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how good it feel to be a kid, right? And it's Christmas morning, you wake up and you go down there. There's a present there with your name on it, and it's all wrapped up. You pick it up and you shake it, and you don't know what it's gonna be like. You feel me? It's wrapped up, and there's just so much joy to unwrapping the present, right? Say you went down on Christmas and you saw the present, except it wasn't wrapped. Like you could just see what it is. That's a little less fun, right? But it's still brand new. So that's pretty good, right? So imagine the third scenario. You go down there. It's not wrapped. So you can see what it is. And in the second scenario, it was new, but in this case, it's not even new. It's a remote control car, but it's not even new. It's already out. Another kid's then played with it and used it. It got a couple bumps and scratches. And your mom's like, it still works. And you kind of like, I like remote control cars, so I'll take it. But damn, like you didn't gave it to me after somebody else then played with it. You really don't like it. Don't really mean as much, right?
Not at all.
Not at all, right? Mm-hmm. You don't want a gift that everybody else didn't have before you. You kind of wanted it brand new, wrapped up, right?
Of course. Same for men.
Not quite, but I'm gonna get back at you with that. So you basically then came to me. This thing then been unwrapped, been used. It's sitting there, and then you like playing game. Why don't you just serve that up? Why are you acting like what's just serve it up? Like what's do you understand my point though?
Yes, I see your point of view.
Yeah, just serve that up. And
but my body wasn't it's not waiting under the tree for you.
No, because somebody else took it from under the tree, opened the motherfucker up and used it. So it's like, well, at this point, like,
okay, well,
shouldn't you be happy to just hand it over?
No.
Come on. Like, see, this will get me mad because it's like, why you want me to play games with you now You only get to play like the Christmas thing works on Christmas because you got it's wrapped in the gift, it wrapped in the wrapping paper, it's brand new, and I'm the first one. But if it's not Christmas, if it's just one of them other regular 364 days, why don't you just throw it? Like, why not just throw it? Because it's been thrown before, so why not just throw it?
It's been thrown before, so I just throw it. Just throw it to everybody who want it.
Not everybody. You're dealing with the boss. So when you're dealing with a boss, why not just throw it?
I just can't just.
You 33, shouldn't you be able to figure it out?
You haven't shown me anything.
Zoom out on the camera. No. Actually, let me just lean this way. When a nigga got a bust of himself right behind his head, just fuck with him. Quit playing games. Just fuck with him. You 33. You should be discerning by now.
That's you.
Okay, yeah,
you should be discerning. Yeah.
I didn't realize that was you.
I know the nigga did a terrible job.
We were talking about that.
Listen,
That's funny.
The nigga did a terrible job. He's supposed to be a master sculptor, so I feel like I'm gonna throw out 30,000 and get another one made. You feel me? But I just keep that one as a warm up. You know what I'm saying?
It's still really cool though.
Yeah, I keep it as a warm up. You dig? I got bored doing regular shit like pictures and paintings. I figured we gonna get the sculpture.
Me and her were saying president vibes.
Yeah.
Right. Like boss types, presidential, right? Yeah. So it's like, why by the time I get to you, I already know who I am and my shit together, right? So why is she gonna play games and not just throw me that? Because here's the thing.
I'm not playing no game.
You playing games.
You know who you are, but I don't know who you are. I don't.
At 33, listen, see, I know you know. And you're from Florida. You've been living in Atlanta. How long you been in Atlanta?
For like 3-4 weeks.
Word. You fresh up in there, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You fresh in there.
Mm-hmm.
You came out here to mess with old boy.
I came with him.
You came with him. He from Florida too.
Yes.
And Florida niggas be wild. I ain't gonna say nothing else about that
not
nigga.
fully though.
I thought he was an Atlanta nigga. I was like, I'd be to fuck around and beat his ass. But the Florida niggas is wild. I ain't saying shit else. But anyways, you young. You like 21? Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you 21. Even at your young age of 21, you've seen a lot of niggas front line and scamming, right?
Yes.
Act like they got more money. They got more of this and that than they really got, right?
Especially on the internet.
You said what?
Especially on the internet.
Especially on the internet,
Yes.
right? Yeah. And you've seen a lot of dudes faking and fronting, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know you've seen a lot of guys faking and fronting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with all of that, y'all still can't look and tell what the real deal is?
I can.
Of course.
Okay.
But we chose to
Hit that drawn out shot real quick, Brody. So you can look and tell what the real deal is, huh?
Well, sometimes you can look from what
you might be able to
look
gather
like.
up some shit and be like, okay, bro, it's different. Okay. You can figure out what the real deal is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. She 33 though, right? So you 21 and you 23. Y'all can figure out what the real deal is. How come she can't figure out what the real deal is? Talking about I need to get
Looks
to know
can be
you.
deceiving.
It depends how the man approaches himself or how you dress, how you talk, you know.
Let's do this. This is important. And I think this is a really good lesson for all women watching. And I tell you, I always encourage women, if you encounter a man who is really about something, throw yourself at him. Don't play no games. You throw yourself at his feet and give yourself to him in pure submission. Why? Because there's not a lot of men. There's not a lot of great options. You throw yourself at him. Do whatever you can, because you might lie and say the woman's the prize. But if your ass had your eyes open, you'll realize that's just not true. That's not true. Is it easier to find some girl that's going to sleep with you? Or is it easier to find a provider? Well, it's easier to find a girl that's going to sleep with you. In fact, you can just pay for that. To find a person who's going to provide for you for your whole life and take care of you and give you wisdom and guidance and be honorable and honest and reliable. Well, that's kind of hard to do. That's kind of hard to do, especially if you're black. Guy with education, income, and is heterosexual. Goddamn, kind of hard to do. So let's just take it. And I want to do this. I want everyone to pay attention. And it's not about money. There's things deeper than money. A drug dealer can get money, but there's things deeper than money that indicate class, and they indicate that there's levels to things. There's levels to the caliber of man you're dealing with, right? So let's see if they can pick up on some things just from conversation or from coming here, your experience here, the way they got different things. So let's just say we're going to start with you.
All right.
Star.
Okay.
Star. First question for you, and feel free to hurt my feelings. As you can tell, I'm an insensitive person, so it won't matter to me at all.
Okay.
So tell your truth. Tell your truth. Speak your truth. we're just going to make it simple. We're going to say low tier man, middle tier man, high tier man. And you can definitely like, bro, you low tier, your ass below the low tier, nigga, you's in the gutter. Okay, like feel free. Would you give me low tier, middle tier, or high tier?
Middle tier.
Middle tier. Okay. Tell us why.
I say middle tier because like I feel like you have your own thing going on. Not even like not your own thing. Like I feel there's a good thing going on for sure. And yeah, like I feel like you've had some good experiences. I've seen your Instagram, you travel a lot, and like yeah, like you have this good thing going on. So I feel like you're middle tier, but also I don't agree with everything you say. So that's why I put you middle tier. Okay.
And I'm not going to argue against your points because it's your truth. It's your perspective. I'm going to go on to the next person. So I'm just we're going to take that.
Okay.
And you said it's because you disagree that you said.
Well, I feel like our values are like.
Yeah, no, our values may be different.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we'll come back to that.
Okay.
So for you, and this is not necessarily saying like we're compatible or like we would, you understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Okay, good. All right. So low tier, middle tier, or high tier? And why?
Middle tier.
Okay. Tell me more.
Okay. So basically you give me an impression of someone who's really in reality. You like, how do I explain it? There's nothing, like you said, delusional. Like there's nothing that you can go around. It is what it is at that point. Like you have like a point to it. And some people can't handle that. And me personally, I can't handle that. Not too much of it, but I try. Like I can't get mad at it because it's like it is what it is. That's what it is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So me, if I would say like I wouldn't say high tier, but no one's perfect because I feel like at some point you will still fuck up.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
For you.
Just if I see you in a crowd and judging you, I would.
No, we're not going based on a crowd. We're just saying based on from the time that however you got here, which you weren't talking to me, but just from your first contact that led you here. So based on all the information you gathered from that point of contact to this present moment, low tier, middle tier, high tier, and why?
I would give you middle tier.
Okay. Put the live chat. I want to see the live chat as we go. This is good. I like where we're at here. Okay. So yeah, we'll get back to that in a second. So what would make someone, not me in particular, but what would make a man? So if you take the things that make me middle tier, so if you take the things that make me middle tier and you wanted to elevate me, not me in particular, but the traits that I have, and you wanted it to be a high tier man, what would be needed to make that person high tier?
Okay, first I'm gonna start off with like a bias, and I'm gonna try to go unbiased.
Okay.
Well, just bias. Just like our values have to line up, but
now remember, I don't want to interrupt you, but we're not talking about a guy that's good for you in particular. We're just saying, if you rank all the human beings that you see, are like, okay, these are the low tier men, these are the middle tier men, and then these are the high tier men. And so another way to think of it is like, these are the below average men, these are the average men, and then these are the above average men. So you ranked me as average. So if you wanted a guy that was above average, and we're not saying he has to be good for you, you're just saying, maybe he's not good for me, but I have my sister that I love and she's different than me. She would like this guy. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
Okay.
I got my answer.
All right.
So if like a middle-tiered man wanted to be high-tiered, I feel like they should like high-tiered like towards a woman's view. I feel like they should like kind of like engage more towards the woman, be more loving towards the woman, like be more on the woman's side, I guess.
Okay.
Like if they want to be more high tiered, yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. So just to clarify, so for me, not necessarily to be with you in particular, but if so I'm middle tier by your ranking. If I wanted to be higher tier, I would need to be more, you said like considerate toward the woman.
Yeah, like treat a woman like more nicely. Like, of course,
Okay.
like, yeah, like be more sweet towards the women.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. What about for you?
Okay, so high tier, I
Mhm.
feel like those type of men who understand emotionally through a woman.
Okay.
So basically, like instead of, oh, let's say she's feeling some type of way, and the man they can't feel because they don't got emotions or whatever. But those type of men who do feel emotion are high tier to me.
Okay.
Both, yeah.
So you're saying
Gender.
if I had better ability to connect with a woman emotionally, I would be high tier.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. What about you?
I would agree with that. I feel like you appear to be, middle high tier, but I feel like you may lack a little compassion.
Mm-hmm.
The honesty is appreciated, but I feel like some compassion is necessary and kindness. There's a way to say things. Like you say, you're a hustler, you like nice things, you take care of yourself well, you dress well.
I said I like nice things, or you're saying you observe that?
I'm observing that.
Okay,
yeah. You dress well, your jewelry's nice, you have a nice leather bag.
Oh, yeah, I created that.
Hair.
mdblabel.com, login, boss up. I appreciate that.
And you're investing in yourself, your t-shirt line, your bag line, your watch.
I appreciate that. mdblabel.com, login, boss up. I appreciate you.
So yes, that will make you a high tier man. But as far as me, I can't just go off of what I'm seeing. A lot of people, like you said, wear a costume. They may appear to dress nice and their body's dirty or their mindset is lacking or et cetera. It takes some time to get to know somebody.
Right. Anybody want to add anything?
Yeah, it's like what you can do for the woman. Like, yeah, like if I see a man and he's like understanding women, I'm like, oh my God, go king. Like,
go king. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else?
Totally agree. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Very
good.
I
love how we're all getting together.
No, that's beautiful.
I saw a comment. It was like hive mind in full effect. But
okay. Now there's another piece before we wrap this particular segment up. Would you consider yourself low tier, middle tier, or high tier woman?
If I'm being honest, I would say middle tier on a come up to high. I feel like I have a lot of things to work on myself. I would say I have to work on emotional maturity. I'm getting there, but I feel like that's what I lack. I feel like I can be high tiered, but right now I am middle tiered, but I will get up there.
Closer. Okay, very good. What about you?
I want to say high tier, but we're going to speak reality. So I would say, I'll say like low middle. I'm be honest, like low middle.
Low middle. Okay.
Yes.
And what about you?
I'm a high tier lady.
Okay. So you said your final answer is middle tier?
Middle tier, but working up to high because I know like this is recently like I'm trying to like improve myself. I know I lack emotional maturity, and I feel like if you don't have emotional maturity, like relationships don't work like that. And like I want a boyfriend, I want to be in a relationship and stuff like that. So if I want to be in a relationship, I need to work on my emotional maturity. So I would say I'm a high tier woman, but if I'm being for real, like I need to work on emotional maturity. So
okay.
Yeah.
And yours was middle tier?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, yes.
And then yours was high tier. Okay. Very good.
Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with what?
As she being high, she being middle.
Thoughts and opinions.
I have no thoughts. I have no opinions on that.
Real.
Yes. But what I will tell you is that put on the live chat real quick if you don't mind, Zudor. What I will tell you And this is the beautiful thing, and it's the ugly thing at the same time. So, and there's just so much to discuss here. It's a very rich topic. It's actually really exciting, but I'm smart enough that, so one, we're on an entertainment platform.
Mhm.
So I would talk about things that I wouldn't talk about in our like regular life, right? We're just out in the world. And I'm smart enough to know. So like you guys basically said consistently, you can't tap that because I'm here right here. Sorry about that. You guys basically said, you're too harsh. No, you're too tough. Like you need to relate to us more and like kind of be like a little bit more understanding, have better emotional intelligence. Is that kind of like what you guys were expressing?
No, I feel you have emotional intelligence. Having emotional intelligence, you can notice different people's emotions based on how they're expressing. And that's how I see emotional intelligence. It's not just, I believe maybe she feels she doesn't express her emotions well enough. Is that why you feel like
what you guys were saying in terms of,
I say compassion.
Compassion. Okay, yeah, you did use the word compassion. Okay, so you said compassion, just like having emotional sympathy for others, and okay, so emotional sympathy for others.
It's a way to say things.
Yeah, and a way to say things nicer, more respectfully.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. I agree with you all that I believe you really feel that way, and I think that the really nice thing, and as I told you guys earlier, if you remember, I said you guys are always going to pick the wrong guy. You're always going to pick the wrong guy. You're going to pick the guy that's more like you. I bet you're compassionate, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you said I should be more compassionate, more like you, which is a woman.
Okay.
You're very compassionate. Makes sense. And you guys said I should be like more understanding, more oriented toward the woman and nicer, things like this, right?
Towards the people the woman in your life.
Yes.
You can be cold towards, like
to everybody else. I got you.
Yeah.
And this is a great lesson for everyone watching, especially you men. I want you guys to understand this. These dating coaches online, they tell you, improve yourself, like become a boss, and then you're going to get all the women you want. And I always tell you, no. There's nothing better than the game. It's the game that works. If I wanted any one of these women and I met them out in the world, I'll have them like that. Why is it? Because I can perform an identity of great compassion. I can perform an identity of being oriented toward the woman and having compliments and kind words. I can do that easily, no problem. That's why I always tell you guys, it's the game that's going to get you over the edge. Those pickup artists, they're liars and they're nerds. They never got women. They weren't raised up with the game. When they tell you, become the best version of yourself. Imagine this. Hit me with that full screen. These women, she said, I think you travel a lot. Was that you?
No, I brought up you. I was like, I seen you like traveling.
Yeah, right. Have you ever seen anyone with that many travel updates on their Instagram profile?
Yes.
You have? Who is that?
My friend. She's in Italy right now.
Okay.
Yeah, she has a German friend and they like travel together.
Travel everywhere. Mm-hmm. How many countries do you think she's been to?
I know she's been in Europe a lot, and she's Mexican. She's been in Mexico. If I had to guess, maybe 6.
She's been like 6 countries?
Yeah, I would say mostly Europe.
So you think she's been in about 6 countries?
Yeah. Okay. Also, in the United States, she's Mexican. She was born in Mexico, so.
Okay. That's fascinating. So you're gonna have to take another spin through the Instagram. The reason I say that is because I said, have you ever seen anyone that's been through that many countries?
Oh no.
I've been to probably 10 times.
Actually,
10 times. No, it's done now. It's done. Okay. It's done now.
Oh, no.
I've been to like 10 times more countries than that. But I say that to the viewing public because you guys get told like, go improve yourself, become better. I got a bachelor's from the University of California, Berkeley, consistently ranked the #1 public university in the United States and sometimes the best university in the world. I have an advanced degree from the Johns Hopkins University, so educationally we're good to go. You talk about professional background. You can Google my name. Before YouTube, you can find professional accolades. Then you talk about travel. I've been to more countries than anybody. Like anybody, you pick someone famous, pick a politician. I've been to more countries than anybody. I'd be impressed if someone can find someone that's been to more countries than I have. For over a decade, I've been traveling 30% of the year. Then you talk about you guys like, oh, I'm going to go get rich. Okay, so we're in a big house. I got a Maybach parked over there. We got a studio with $50,000 of equipment just like right here, not even on the other side. So I got a bust that's handmade behind my head. Like you ever go on holiday to Rome and you're like looking at the artwork like, oh, like this is pretty impressive. And then you go find a master sculptor and say, hey, make me a sculpture now. And then you just pay whatever it costs. So, oh yeah. And also, as I told the young lady, I'm studying to be a pilot, not for a job, just because I want to fly myself. So there's a level of intelligence and sophistication that's required to do certain things. You've been lied to. This is not how women work. The resources don't matter. Like, do you guys have the sense that you're in my studio? Do you think you're in my studio or like a rented studio?
I feel like it's rented.
You think it's rented? Damn, that's crazy. What about you? Do you think it's rented or it's my studio?
My first impression when I came here, I thought it could be 50-50. It could be yours. It could be rented.
Do you think it's my studio or it's rented?
Yeah, I think it's yours.
Mm-hmm. And most studios that you go into are rented. Mm-hmm. Like the overwhelming majority of studios. Like there's this one guy, I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to I'm not trying to insult him or embarrass him. Like tall, big black guy, very popular on YouTube. He's been on Fresh and Fit a couple times, but his studio is clearly rented. He was with this girl in an elevator, this white chick, and she was like, "Oh, is this your studio?" And like, do you own it or do you rent it? And he's like, "Oh, it's complicated. It's complicated." And it just like walks off. I was like, "There's nothing wrong. Just say you're renting it.
Say it.
Yeah, just say you're renting it." Now, just side note, it would. So if I'm like, say I was renting it, you're saying like you think that like other people come in this studio and like shoot content?
No, I mean like you rented this house or something.
Ah, I see. Okay. So you think the whole structure is rented?
Yeah, but I also thought that this was like your own thing also.
Okay.
So like 50-50.
Question for you. And this is really important. And this is another reason, guys, I want you guys to think, like really understand who you're dealing with when you're dealing with women. Women will ask for a provider. They'll ask for a guy who makes six figures, but they have not the foggiest idea of what anything costs. They want a guy who makes six figures. They don't realize, like, if you got a six-figure income, you can't drive a six-figure car. You don't make enough money. You don't. They don't know what that means because, like, respectfully, like, she's unemployed. So if she wants a six-figure guy, what does she know about money? Like, do you make six figures?
No.
Right. So, like, she doesn't even know what the lifestyle means, but they still want a six-figure guy. So think about it this way. So here's a test. This property, right? How much, like if I rented it, right? Well, here's my first question. Say I bought it, right? If I buy it, there's a mortgage you pay every month. If I rent it, there's rent you pay every month. Which is higher? Is mortgage higher or is rent higher? Which is more expensive?
I recently just learned about mortgages. I would say it depends. Someone was telling me it depends. So, like, yeah, I would say maybe the rent is higher.
Maybe, or is
I would
it?
say,
No?
I feel like because like people, if people are getting mortgages or whatever, how you say it, isn't it better? Aren't they like? Isn't it better?
We're just trying to see what women know. Okay. Do you think mortgage is more expensive to own the house? You pay more per month, or to rent the house, you pay more per month?
It's more expensive to rent it because you're wasting your money.
So she said rent. Is it more expensive to per month for the mortgage or for the rent?
It's more for rent.
More for rent. Okay. All right. Now, second question. What do you think it would cost to rent a place like this? I know obviously you've not been through
4,000 or maybe 5,000.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't seen the rest. Is it bigger than this? Is there another room that's bigger than this?
Okay. Did you see the other driveway on the other side?
Oh, I didn't even count the driveways. Maybe I'll say 5,000, 6,000 to rent.
Okay. So she says 5,000, 6,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably like a good 3,200.
3,200.
Yeah.
Okay. How much do you think?
Renting in this area, I would go between I guess it really depends on how many rooms, but I would say maybe between 5 and 8,000.
5 and 8,000. Okay. Okay. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. So here's the challenge for you guys. Without talking about my own personal business, and people put I'm flexing. I'm not flexing. I'm just trying to show you guys the fact that they have not the foggiest idea of what anything costs. So they want a provider and they want a certain lifestyle, but they don't realize that what they look at and they think, oh, this guy makes 6 figures. He can afford fill in the blank. No, that's not going to get it. So a 7,000 square foot house, on average, you're going to pay in rent probably like closer to like 15,000 per month. 15,000. You said, what was your guess?
I said 5,000,
5,000. Okay, 5,000, 6,000. You said like 3,200, and you said 5 to 8,000. Right. So you guys were like way off. So if someone's paying like around 15,000, not putting my personal business out there, I'm just saying, for example, a house of approximately this size in around this neighborhood, you'd be about like 15,000. It can go up, go up to like 18,000, could go down, maybe go to like 13,000. So if they're that far off, gentlemen, they're that far off, that lets you know, even if you were accomplished, they don't even know how accomplished you might be. They have no sense of any of this stuff. And more importantly, all the accolades you work hard for, they don't even matter to women. Here's another example. Before I was in the podcasting business, I was the CEO of a technology company with offices around the world. If I meet a girl, she's like, hey, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm the CEO of a tech company. They're like, oh, okay. I guess that's cool. You meet a girl now, what do you do? I run a podcast. Oh, what's your podcast? I'm going to look you up. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I saw you on Instagram. Even though I make more money as a tech CEO, the clout matters more than the money.
No.
The clout matters more than the money. Like none of this stuff means anything to them. You have to hit them with the game. Just as you listen to these girls say they said, Marquett, you're middle tier. Middle tier. It's amazing. My education, superior education, my height, taller than the average man, my income, way above the average man, my articulation and humor, above the average man, my sophistication, above the average man, my skill sets, way above the average man, whether you're talking professional, educational, academic, hobby, or athletic. You know any niggas that do fencing?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Do you know anybody that does fencing?
No.
Do you know any pilots?
No.
No. Okay, great. So it doesn't matter. Like none of that shit matters. The only thing that matters is the GAME, the game. Why? Because they don't live in reality. It's all about what you can do here. You got to have that mouthpiece. And that's why the Dr. Phil method is unbeaten. That's why the game is unbeaten. And that's why you got to come to the big homie to get the greatest in game. You listen to these goofy ass nerds on the internet. They're like, you need to get some veneers and get some hair plugs and like all this weirdo shit. No, it's the game. It's how do you make her feel? It's not about you, dummy. You think it's about you. It's really about them. And how do you make them feel? Why is it about them? Because they're narcissists. Everything got to be about them. So you got to lean into them like off of some, dang, I like that necklace. What's that say? Is that Arabic?
Yeah, it is Arabic.
That is Arabic.
I got like 3 years ago.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
You.
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
This place called Culture something.
Okay.
Online. Can you read Arabic?
I wish I could. What does it say?
I don't know.
Ah, okay. We'll have to figure out what that says then.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask my friend.
Okay, yeah.
That's crazy. I'm gonna ask my friend. He knows Arabic.
You should. Let me know when you find
I'm
out.
gonna ask him. That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah, I
don't know why I never did. But.
Exactly. That's what it's about. That interaction. That's what it's about. Her necklace, right? Like what she. That's what it's about, and that'll get you guys somewhere. But here's the thing, me. I just happen to be in a great position. As a real boss, you don't have to be nice. You heard me? Them little niggas around the planet Earth, they need to be nice. I don't need to be nice. That's why I'm not nice. And that's what you'll notice. You ever walk by a homeless person, he says, hey, sir, like,
could you spare some change? And would you mind, and you have a server at a restaurant, they want to tip, they got to be nice. Bosses don't have to be nice. You heard me? And they are completely correct. I've shown a lack of empathy. I've shown a lack of understanding, complete and utter ruthlessness. Why? Because I'm the super villain. God damn it. You have now been blessed with the greatest